Hey y'all, just gonna do a quick recap of what I read in the month of February, so just a little off. Um, to start off with, I only read 2 books, so this should be quick. Start off with Fairest by Marissa Meyer. So this is part of the Lunar Chronicles series. It's kind of like a novella-y. It's pretty short. It's the backstory of Queen Lavanna, who is the main villain. And I mean, it was another case of me not really being in the mood for the book. That said, it's good. Like, it's solid. Um, some things that I appreciated about this one is that, first of all, you get a great villain backstory. You get to realize what she's like, why she feels the way she feels, her insecurities. I like that. She's definitely not just a one-dimensional villain. And you get to see her motivations, and you also get to see just all kinds of stuff about her. If there's one thing I hate, it's when a villain is kind of babied, and instead of just being like, oh, this is a villain, they do bad things, trying to like make excuses for them or make you feel sorry for them. There's a tiny bit of that, but it's reasonable, and it's very obvious that the book does not support her choices and that the book itself is being critical of the things that she does, which I really appreciate. I think, let's not coddle villains. I don't like that. So I thought that was great that this book doesn't do that. It really shows why she's a villain. Um, the reason it didn't jibe with me is it's got a lot of like, and this isn't a real spoiler, it's got a lot of that like secondhand embarrassment where she does certain things and you cringe so hard. Like, there's a reason it's hard for me to watch certain episodes of The Office. Like, that's what it kind of feels like with some of the things that she does. It's very painful. And like, I don't do well with that. And I think I wasn't really in the mood for it. So don't let my Goodreads score like influence you on this. I think it's definitely worth reading. I think it's solid. I don't really have any major criticisms of it other than I just wasn't in the right mood, which, yeah, that's been me lately, hasn't it? Like, it seems like I keep picking out books, like my actual physical books I pick out are not books I'm actually in the mood to read. I'm just picking out whatever I think I'll read the fastest, so wah wah. The other book I read was When He Was Wicked by Julia Quinn, which is the 6th book in the Bridgerton series. This one focuses on Francesca, and the basic like premise of this one is it starts off really sad, and like, this isn't a real spoiler because this happens in the beginning. Francesca's husband dies, and his best friend slash cousin is totally in love with Francesca. He pines for her, but he knows obviously that he can't be with her because his cousin's wife. But anyway, unfortunately, her husband dies, and she suffers a lot. Poor Francesca. And it's just a romance story between them. Like, that's her and Michael, her husband's cousin. So this one is intense. Like, it's way, I have to say, like, compared to all the other Bridgerton books, this one is like a good several steps higher. Like, it's just way better than all the other ones so far. I gotta be real about that. Like, I know a lot of people, this is their favorite, and I can see why. It's just plain better than the other books. Like, I'm sorry if I offend anybody. It's just on a different level than them. It deals with much more intense emotions. It's honestly hotter than the other ones too. And I say this like, I think the 4th book is still my favorite, Romancing Mr. Bridgerton, but really only because I love Colin and Penelope. I think in terms of quality, this book is definitely the best one. Like, I just don't think it's really, like, I don't question it. Like, it's really good. Like I said, lots of intense emotion. And you deal with Francesca, who's a much more subtle heroine because she's more subdued than the rest of her family. The other Bridgerton girls, at least, are very like, they're more sassy and funny, most of them. So she has a different kind of personality compared to them, but she's still enjoyable and relatable as a heroine. And like I said, she goes through a lot. Oh, poor Franny. It's so sad. And then Michael is another rake because I guess Julia Quinn loves rakes. And when she tries to write something other than a rake, he ends up being a wet towel. But I loved him. He's just really fun and like he's a good guy, and he's just I don't know. He's just very entertaining. He had a very vibrant personality, and I liked it. So, you know, if you're into the series, you'll probably love this one. It's great, and if you're like, I'm only gonna read one of the Bridgerton books, this would be the one to read. It's good. Um, Now, is it like compared to other romance novels? I don't really know like how I would rate it yet because I'll be honest, I haven't read a ton of romance novels still, so we'll see. I'll give you more of an opinion once I start actually reading the genre that I really want to read. And I read this, and another thing to just quickly mention is I read the second epilogue too, which it was good. So I think that's it for, that's all I read. February is a short month. And I have finished a book already here in March, but I'm going to just save it for the end of this month and hopefully be more on time. So I hope you're all doing well, or at least better than me. Bye.